Welcome, you two. We have some bad news from Alabama. Bad news. They just passed. The governor signed that bill that we've been talking about. And
House Bill 445, the governor signed it into law. So, yeah, here we are.
well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We just want to talk about a few things today and just go over what all to expect, and like just having kind of get some movement about this because this is kind of awkward. This kind of kills hemp in Alabama. On a serious note, it's really bad.
And it really is. And it's bad, it's sad, it's frustrating, and I mean, I'm sure it's hurtful to a lot of people. Because they're seemingly bewildered and they don't understand why this has happened or how it could happen. But Senator Tim Melson, who lied to me personally, sponsored, and so did Andy Nitwit, I should say. Andy Nitwit and Senator Melson cooked up and sponsored bills, and then they aligned together to pass a law to regulate hemp. But it wasn't to regulate hemp, they lied. It was to ban smokable hemp and a lot of other hemp products, and to cap products at 10 milligrams each, and to do a bunch of other things. So all of that's coming down the pipe. I know a lot of people are concerned, what's it going to do exactly? When does it take effect? There's a July 1st date. There's a January 1st date. Brandon and I we've not read it completely through twice or three times. I skimmed it over the first time, but that's not enough to understand it.
Yeah.
We don't want to give out bad information. But just know that it does ban smokable flower in Alabama. That's the only thing that matters to me, because that's what Senator Melson lied to me about, and that's what I'm most upset about. So,
Yeah.
what about you? What are you pissed off the most about?
Man, it's all the people that are gonna pop up after the July the 1st trying to find any kind of place to get something to help with their pain, their anxiety, anything they might needing. It's they're gonna be in for a surprise whenever.
I mean, it's frustrating to think, And what's even more frustrating is this right here. Actually, these are pretty good drinks. Tricia, you should compensate me next time. I want the 10 milligrams like I ordered, not the 5s, but they taste good. I guess for me the word of the day is, first of all, caution, because we don't want to give out bad information, and we're not going to. We will update you when we have good information, and there are a lot of good people, a lot of smart people that are digging into the bill and are really digesting what it means. I will tell you this, that the ABC board is having trouble understanding it and how they fit into it. This thing was cobbled together. There's a lot of contradictions in it, a lot of vagueness, a lot of arbitrary language. So look for problems down the road for the state of Alabama as it relates to House Bill 445. So, yeah.
Man,
What's been the biggest, Brandon, what's been the biggest thing? People contacting you. What's been the biggest thing? Shop owners, right? You got a lot of friends that are
Shop owners.
What's been the biggest thing they've said to you, or their biggest complaint,
Man,
concern?
it's the main thing is they're all dumbfounded. They're in shock, and no one's really comprehended how bad this is going to affect the state of Alabama. And the thing is too, we don't have a lot of manufacturers in Alabama that manufacture good quality hemp. So that has affected us a big time because we import all of our hemp from other states. So
I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
gonna be bad, and it is. You got guys that have been doing this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Their whole livelihood is staked on it, and now what? What? I mean, some people, half of their entire store, half of the relief they provide to the public is gone.
Yeah.
If you're a family with kids and a mortgage, man, how do you wake up tomorrow?
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that all the people are going to technically become criminals when they get charged with Class C felonies in certain circumstances for having smokable hemp on you. That's insane to me. So, yeah, it went backwards in time.
Okay. Well, and we did, and the ridiculousness is, like you said, just because somebody wants some pain relief Tim Melson, Tim Melson and his crowd decided that you don't get pain relief, you get prosecuted. You get to be turned into a criminal because you want help. Which gets me, I told Brandon earlier, the word of the day for me is hypocrisy. Because of the hypocrites in Montgomery and the way that they have concocted this bill. If you stop and think about it, Andy Nitwit's big concern was to save the kids. And, I mean, Nitwit, if you really want to save the kids, you ban it all together. Does this mean we're on or not on?
No, we're on. There's just the HDMI.
All right. No, but I mean, for Nitwit, if you want to be just straight up, it's kind of like Sunday alcohol sales. Everybody used to jump up and down about Sunday alcohol sales. And they would say, oh, it's a public safety, it's the kids. Well, hell, if that's the case, just outlaw the damn stuff altogether. I mean, let's just be straight up. If you want to save somebody and you want to make things a public safety issue, just take them off the damn chart. But unfortunately, in this particular instance, Brandon and a lot of others don't think that they have the divine right to intercede what God has provided. The hypocrisy in part of this is that they didn't declare THC illegal, did they?
No.
I mean, because it's still sellable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they Senator Nitwit, who wants to protect the world with his little rubber gloves like a fool. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's wild.
I mean, sorry guys, what an idiot. In 2025, any grown-ass man that'll sit up there with rubber gloves holding a damn can you can buy at Piggly friggin' Wiggly. The guy's holding the thing up with rubber gloves like it's going to contaminate the damn room, right? This is your representative. What an idiot. Anyway, so they didn't say that THC was illegal, right?
No,
because we can still have THC product, can't we?
Yeah.
Like, what can we have?
We can have 10 milligram gummies, up to 40 milligrams a pack. And that means you can only have up to 40 milligrams in a whole pack of gummies, no matter how.
So 4 10 milligram gummies or 8 5 milligram gummies.
Yeah.
But it's all 40.
Yeah.
Like those dumbasses don't think I can eat all 8 of them.
Yeah, it's like.
Or eat 2 packs of 16 fives. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I guess where these guys come from, math ain't their first subject in school, so maybe they were confused on how it.
And then it's just like they added a 10% tax on, which would be nice if they kept things the way they were moving. But now it's like they're not going to make any money off that 10% tax because I mean, they probably will because of the drinks, but
they've lost half. More.
I mean,
what a bunch of dumbasses! Put a 10% tax on it and then cut half the revenue. That's a real good one, you morons. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that they don't think about.
Yeah.
Hypocrisy, right? So here's the deal, like Brandon pointed out. Still have THC.
Yeah.
Nitwit didn't outlaw it outright, but he and Tim Melson made sure that if you and all your country club crowd want to lay out by the swimming pool, you can get your damn THC in your drinks, right? Because the drink man from Mobile and Tim Melson, Wyndham and Trent and company, you know those guys, they guaranteed by God that their friends and family were going to lay by their country club pools and drink their little drinks. But they said, you damn sure can't smoke any of this stuff, right? Isn't that what they said? Yeah.
That's pretty much what they said, you know, and you got to get a 4-pack to get the same amount, you know?
Right.
But
I mean, seriously, this is a group of people. The hypocrisy is they didn't outlaw THC. They just said you can have it as long as you do it in the way we like to do it. We don't like to smoke flower, so you don't get to smoke flower. But since we're privileged and political and powerful and we have a lot of money and a lot of influence and we just built a big ass building that we're going to make drinks in, hemp drinks by the way, because of that, you folks don't get to smoke it anymore. Brandon, if I like to smoke flower and all of a sudden they take flower away, how will I get my THC?
Not legally anymore. And you know, and then.
Well, let's just say I decided to legally get my THC. How would I have to do it?
Legally, how would you get your
Yeah,
THC?
I mean,
In Alabama, they make it hard because now they don't
all you
even.
can get is what they would sell.
Yeah, RSL. Yeah, which I mean,
If
at
they
that
take
point,
flower off the shelf, a guy like me, who the only relief I get is from smoking flower.
yeah, and
If they take that off the shelf, I will have to get products like gummies.
I am less likely to do gummies. Like, no offense to no one, I'm not gonna sit and take gummies. If you want, I mean, you want relief, you need relief, but not like you. I mean, you don't want to have to take gummies every
Well,
time.
no, for me, I in Hawaii 5 years ago when I started this, y'all probably can't see it, but I've had my knee replaced 3 times, and started using medicinal marijuana, which I think is a ruse. It's marijuana, it's cannabis, it's not medicinal or recreational, it's a God-given right to use it. And I started using it, and I found that none of the systems, the delivery systems, from vapes to gummies to tinctures, I've used Rick Simpson oil, I've used all kinds of things, but none of the stuff, none of the stuff did anything for me. It was only smoking flower. And I realized, and I learned over 5 years, that in order for me to get the relief that I need, to have the relief from the PTSD that I have in my life, to get the relief from some anxiety and issues, and to allow me deeper spiritual connections with our Father, I realized that smoking flower was the only way for me to do it, to receive it. I shared that with Senator Tim Nelson, and I told him, Senator, if you ban smoking flower, you're going to hurt people like me that can't get relief any other way. And I told you, he told me he wouldn't do that. He didn't want to hurt people, he just wanted to regulate it, which now we know was a lie. But Brandon, if I process raw marijuana into a product, what happens to the cost of my THC?
It goes up.
It goes up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Every time you process it, touch it, package it, ship it, do whatever, what happens?
It goes up. Like,
right? And then you got a manufacturer, a distributor, wholesaler, retailer. You get 2 or 3 layers of profit in addition to the laboratory and all that shit, right?
yeah.
So now, not only is it an issue of access to the only effective delivery method system, it's also an economic issue.
Yeah.
And that's sad. That's sad that it's an economic issue. And Tim Nelson, I gotta say it, Bobby Singleton. Bobby, you're gonna have to talk to me, man. I don't understand how you didn't filibuster like hell, like you told me you were. I'm still confused about that. But,
Yeah.
socioeconomically challenged, let's just say it, poor folks. Poor folks, a lot of people smoke flower because it's cheap and economical. And they believe God provided it as their right to have something that's cheap,
Yeah.
effective, efficient, and economical. But now, Brandon, they're forcing people
Yeah.
to spend and pay more money.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's really bad. I mean, and again, so just some of the keynotes of what's in this bill. It's smokable hemp ban, strict THC limits, new licensing requirements, which means the ABC board is over everyone's neck.
And you have to go buy a license.
And if
for
you
what?
know
Gummies.
you get and it's $1,000, and there's sales restrictions, like, which that's, I mean, and online, so meaning like you can't no online sales, you can't like sell, you can't wholesale the product that you have left, nothing like that. Excess tax, which is we just talked about that, which is a 10% tax they applied to the hemp. Severe penalties, which violations can result in heavy fines, license revocations, even criminal charges, including Class C felonies for certain offenses. This law has sparked widespread concern among business owners, patients, advocates who rely on hemp for wellness and livelihood. While supporters argue it's a public safety, critics see it as a devastating blow to Alabama's hemp industry, and it really is, because now next year around this time, people are going to be begging, wishing they can go back to the part where they're like, oh wow,
Next year, my ass, in about 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months, yeah.
July 1st.
Yeah, and two, yeah, exactly. The
Not
first.
next year, people need to wake up. They didn't believe us for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
They need
Get out of
to,
here. All right. You have a good night. Thank you.
They need to believe us now for sure.
I mean, yeah, and it's just, I mean, seriously, like you just imagine, like I just imagine you haven't cleaned your car in a few months, and you forget that you have like a vape, a hemp vape cart, a hemp cartridge in your car, and you get pulled over, and it's a Class C felony right there,
A
and
year and a day up to 10 years in prison because you had a hemp vape that you forgot was in your car. Well, I wish I could talk to your mother, Debbie, Brandon's mother, over at Casual Dispensary on 181 in Fairhope. She could tell you about the people that come into her store every day that need medicine. We have a slogan around here that we're not here just to get you high, we're here to get you healthy and to help. And that's true. And Debbie can tell you, at Casual Dispensary, I know for a fact, I've been there, I've seen people come in, patient after patient, client after client, people looking for relief from pain. Same thing that we have here at East Bay. People come in every day looking for quality of sleep,
pain relief,
and quality of life, right? I mean, Brandon.
even with the animals,
With
the animals, like.
And what are they? What's the big deal with the animals when they come in? What are they usually asking for?
A lady came in today, an older woman. She came in today, and she's going out of town. And her dog gets really anxious with car rides. So she got some of that to help out, and it really does. Like the dogs are able to chill out, and helps out with nausea and stuff like that.
And that's something that people. It really irritates me. People don't. I had a very good pharmacist friend of mine remind me that every drug first worked on an animal, mouse or a rat or something, before it worked on a person. That's interesting. And he said that the bodies are all pretty much the same, and they work the same. By the same token, animals have anxieties, right? Dogs and cats, they live in houses, and we do all kinds of stupid stuff, and it affects them. And why shouldn't we want to? And no, I'm not some down. You won't find any pet food in my refrigerator, don't worry. But I do think that people should be more aware. If your dog gets anxiety from fireworks, damn, do something about it. If it was your kid, you would do it. So if it was you, you would do it. So love your animals. But the CBD, what's it do for them? What's up, Crystal Reynolds?
Hello.
Good to see you, girl.
But yeah, for real. Oh, gosh, it's I just still can't believe she signed it yesterday or the day. I just can't believe she signed it. For real, I'm still in a shock for words because it's like, I mean,
My mic's not even on, but like I said, I'm shocked that she freaking signed it. Like, she didn't. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of money that they're losing now. They were like, they were.
One of the funny things to me is that she waited till the last minute of pretty much the last part of the day.
And the script.
Yeah.
The script.
Well, everybody was wondering why. I thought she was waiting till the last minute to veto it and send it back so that there was no time for them to respond. But apparently I was wrong.
Man.
I mean, do you think she waited till the last damn minute just to punk us all? I mean, is that some political shit that they do? Or, I mean, why?
Do you think is it something like they could put on her table last, or like it was one of the last things she signed?
Oh, this is probably the first damn
thing they wanted on there. They wanted that signed first.
Man. When that thing went over there, they were like, "Oh, go sign."
They were probably like pushing it closer. They were like getting it they're like sliding it on the table.
Why the hell wait a week?
Man.
Why wait till 10 minutes on the last day?
Whenever she signs like a bill, she usually has like, when she signs stuff for like school, she has like the kids stand and look at the bill.
Yeah.
Who's signing looking at the bill? They're like, is it all the people?
A bunch of veterans and broke down people that are going to be in pain. And
man, like seriously, like.
Matt, you ain't right. She's going to lose. Matt's right. She is going to lose a lot of revenue in Alabama. Well, and Tim Nelson, Dumbbutt Nelson, and Andy Nitwit.
They fucked us. I mean, not to bad part of my language, but literally they don't understand what they did. Like the amount, because what happens when they decriminalize marijuana
what happens then? And then you get pulled over and you're convincing the guy, it's like, it's marijuana, it's not hemp, because now you have a lesser charge for marijuana than you do for hemp.
Yeah, that's what's.
Isn't that crazy? And like, so just saying,
How in the hell did this thing?
I know, you pull over, you get pulled over, you're like, officer, I swear to God, it's marijuana.
No, bro,
it's not
marijuana,
hemp.
dude.
It's not hemp, I swear. And then, that's the
damn state we live in now.
And we're gonna-
Alabama.
And it's get to the point where you're hearing it here first. You're in a few months, you're gonna see hemp bars, like regular bars, but it's just gonna be hemp bars. And
But
it's,
why?
Yeah.
Because the money. Follow the money. What's been declining over the last 3 to 5 years, Brandon?
alcohol drinking.
That's right. Alcohol drinks and sales have been declining for 3 to 5 years, according to Anheuser-Busch and other national studies. So if you can't sell alcohol, what do you do? What do they do? If they can't sell alcohol, what do they do, Brandon?
They come up with a new thing to sell.
They come over here and they make hemp drinks, right? They take their damn alcohol off the shelf, they make hemp drinks, and then they come into Alabama and they get smokable flower off the shelf so they can sell more damn hemp drinks to the people that need.
Because now they're not going to have to worry about people with their tolerance like they did with the hemp flower. So, everyone's smoking hemp flower, they're enjoying it, they're having a good time, and they use the drinks as a secondary. The drinks aren't secondary anymore. They are taking the space as the primary object of everybody's wallet now. That's it.
And guess what?
And there's, oh no, and there's nothing we really did about it. All of us were all just sitting around, just waiting for her to sign it, and she signed it. And
I was calling
and he was calling. I'm right behind him, But it's and she did. And the crazy part is, every time you call, the lady on the phone will go, "Yeah, we're getting a lot of support to veto HB 445," and it's just like the fact that the governor knows there was so much backlash, and so much like hate behind that bill, that she didn't care. She just said, and it honestly shows that,
It honestly shows that everybody in Montgomery is ignorant as pig shit. That's what it shows. I'm just gonna put it where the cows can get to it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who they're listening to. I don't know who their advisors are. That Andy Nitwit, that moron from wherever he's from. God, I'd love to meet that guy. I mean, I really would. I'd pray for him. I'd pray for Tim Nelson. I don't know how a guy can lie to another man to his face. And Bobby Singleton. Bobby, you told me out of your own mouth, Bobby. You said, John, I will filibuster like hell before I let them ban smokable flower in Alabama. And Bobby, you didn't do it, man. You went down to the well with 5 minutes. You saw it, Brett.
Yeah.
He walked right down to the well and added convenience stores. Smitherman came up behind him and added, or tried to add the amendment for smokable flower, but Bobby didn't.
It really did seem like he was beating around the bush, like he didn't want to bring it up, like he was like avoiding it, because if he did, it would be like, all right,
Well, and that's the thing. I don't understand, because Bobby and I talked about how this is going to negatively impact minorities, people of color, people whose heritage is rooted in cannabis, Rastafarian religion, people that this is their life. This is going to impact you bigger than anyone else. And your representative went silent.
Yeah.
Bobby Singleton shut his mouth and didn't say a word. And I told him, Bobby, your people are going to suffer more than anybody else. And Bobby apparently didn't care. Nor did the governor. And that's...
And the main cause is they know that they can't distinguish the difference between hemp and marijuana. They honestly don't want. They refuse to accept the fact that when we have it tested at the beginning of its harvest, it's defined as hemp, and they do not like that. They hate it. They hate the fact that they can't retest it, and they do retest it. They have done. They retest it, and then it fails. And it just destroys the whole foundation of trust that the COAs were supposed to be built on.
Well, the whole foundation of trust that our damn religion, our faith, and our country, our justice system was built on.
Yeah,
this place is destroyed. These people are idiots, and look what they do to us.
So now people can get pulled over and charged with marijuana again, even though it's hemp, because now there's no difference. For all the people that were like, I smoke the real thing, well, my friends, that's all the real thing now, because they're both scheduled at the same. You might as well, you smoke hemp, you're smoking marijuana now. So
Marijuana is still a scheduled
we're all in a situation now where when hemp becomes more illegal than actual marijuana, and that's wild to me. People used to talk about hemp like CBD. They used to define hemp.
Fake weed.
They used to use CBD and define it as all the whole hemp spectrum, when they didn't realize hemp was just a cannabinoid under, or CBD was a cannabinoid under hemp, and
But
it's
it's
just
fake weed, right?
it's fake weed.
now you're asking
It's so
for
fake
prison.
that they banned it. But for real, on a real note, it's
Unfortunately, it's not the fake weed, it's their
Yeah.
ignorance. It's the
Yeah.
fake education of Tim Nelson and Andy Nitwit that,
No.
yeah.
Anyways, well, we appreciate everyone checking in with us. We're trying our best. We got a lot going on. Like, we have a lot on our plates, but we have to get this out, and just to get the conversation started. Even though we have a lot going on, this is something that's literally going to affect so many people and
Hundreds of thousands
of people. Yeah, and yeah. I mean,
some of the things that I tried to express to the governor in the last few days were the people that are going to be impacted. People of color who, like I said, it's part of their heritage. It's who they are. It's their religion. It's their faith. And I don't blame them. I would rather smoke marijuana or cannabis than drink alcohol any day of the week. But I told her, people of color are going to be disparately impacted. Veterans. You know how many veterans we have come in here that smoke flower to manage PTSD? They're going to be impacted now. And I know you're going to talk shit about medicinal marijuana and gummies, but dude, they have to pay more money for lesser effective products. And that's the problem. So you're forcing poor people to have to pay more money. You're forcing veterans who are on fixed incomes and elderly on fixed incomes who want pain relief and be able to sleep at night. You're making them spend more money for less effective products. It just seems anti-God if you want to know
Yeah.
the truth. I mean, Brandon, what's more compassionate than being able to help somebody sleep or
real.
get pain relief?
And it is anyone in the industry, which I know Matt, you're in it too. All of us, whenever someone finally comes back and they tell you, they're like, hey, that tincture, those gummies, that flower, I haven't had something like that in a while that I could actually finally rest and have a full night's sleep.
And hear somebody tell you the best night of sleep they've had in their whole life,
yeah.
right?
But
I mean, that's a good, that's what, but I bet you Senator Melson, the governor, Andy Nitwit with his little theatrics, you think they've ever spent a day in a dispensary?
no.
Would
Well,
they?
if they did, it's in Colorado on the vacation money that they got from banning hemp.
Now we're talking.
So they're gonna be laughing at us and while in a different
When
state.
they go snow skiing with all their bougie ass family and friends, you guarantee you that old Dr. Timothy, I'm a Pinocchio nose liar Melson, and Andy Nit, I bet he can't find his way down a ski slope. If they go out of town, they tell you, I know them, and if they don't, their kids do. Don't let anybody fool you. I went to school with them all. Right?
Yeah, and
that's why I said the hypocrisy of it all.
Yeah.
Tim Nelson, you just pissed off your kids because they probably smoked a lot of weed to put up with your ass.
it's something else. But we appreciate y'all checking in. This is just Thursday night, and we'll be back maybe tomorrow and even the weekend. But thank you guys for checking in.
One thing we do want to say, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you know store owners, or if you are a store owner, if you hear this or share this, if you want, contact us. We have connected with a group of individuals that are seriously looking at launching a federal injunctive lawsuit rooted in disparate treatment, 14th Amendment equal protections, and the First Amendment freedom of religion, because we believe that God ordained the use of sacraments and sacramental plants in flora, and that man should not be able to impede that. So, guys, if you want to be a part of that, if you want to talk about being a part of it, you don't have to commit, but we can talk about it. Please contact us, because that's going to happen pretty soon. We need to raise money We're not asking you for money if you don't want to be a part of it, but if you do, come join us. Brandon, what do they have to do?
They have to, get with us, and we'll get their email.
Contact.
Yeah.
How do you contact? You
Oh,
can call us at
I have one.
251-210-4100.
Yeah.
Brandon at eastbayalternatives.com.
Or John at eastbayalternatives.com.
Right? Give us a shout, man. Let us help. Like I said, let's just keep the conversation going. Save him, and let's provide relief from God for everybody.
And if you're a store out there, we're all in it together, and we hope you all the best outcome and the pivoting that we're gonna have to do to move forward.